Good evening. My name is David Cashman. This is the lottery for the affordable units at Halstead, Salem Station. This is July 28th, 6 p.m. There are 13 units being offered through this lottery, and it looks like we have one applicant, now two applicants tuned in, so we'll get started here in just a minute. For the households who are watching by way of live stream, could you just confirm by typing in this box under where I'm going to write something that you can hear me? So if someone could just respond to that, just want to make sure you can hear me before we get started. So we're up to 4 households now. If you didn't hear me, just looking for someone to confirm that you can hear me okay before I get started. You can just write in that box below where I just wrote. Can you hear me okay? Okay, still don't have a response yet. Anyone? Great. Thank you, Kesha. Okay, so we'll get started. Just wanted to make sure. So this is the lottery for the affordable units at Halstead Salem Station. If you're in the lottery, congrats on making it this far. This is the next step in the process. I'm going to go through just a little bit of background on how many households there were in the lottery, what the waiting list will look like, and give you a bit of information on what the next steps will be. And then I'll ask if everyone has their lottery application number and if anyone has any questions before we do the drawing. But for this lottery, we had 10 households complete applications and be eligible. So there will be 10 households in the lottery. There will be 3 different waiting lists. The waiting list, as you now know, hopefully from reading the materials, applying for the lottery, there are different waiting lists for different size units. You have the 1-bedroom units and 2-bedroom units. And additionally, one of the 1-bedroom units had features built out for people with mobility impairments. So that's an additional list as well. So 3 lists, 3 waiting lists. Just to break that down a little bit more, there's a waiting list for 1-bedroom units. There are 6 of those and only 3 applicants. So if you applied for a 1-bedroom unit, you will be moving on to the next step in this process, which is to apply with the leasing office to see if you're lease eligible. Keep in mind, we SEB Housing, if we put you in the lottery, which is tonight, that means we've deemed you as being program eligible. But we have not screened you for lease eligibility. That's not our role. We're not the leasing office. We will turn you over to the leasing office to make that determination. So there is still that next step, but the end is getting closer. So that's the first waiting list. The second waiting list is also 1-bedroom units, but with disabled accessible features. There's 2 of those units and only 1 applicant. So that applicant will definitely be moving forward in the next step. And then there are the 2-bedroom units. Now there were 5 units total. 3 of the units had features built out for persons with mobility impairments. However, there were no applicants for the 2-bedroom units who indicated they needed those features. So we'll just have 1 waiting list for 2-bedroom units. There are 5 in total, and there are 7 applicants. 6 of those applicants are type 2 households, meaning they indicated they needed 2 bedrooms, and 1 of the households is a type 1 household. So unlike for the 1-bedroom units, I can't guarantee you if you're on the 2-bedroom waiting list, if you're in the 6th and 7th position, I can't guarantee you that you'll be moving forward right away. However, in most cases, leasing offices have to screen more households than there are units available to fill those units. So even if you are in the 6th or 7th position, that is not reason to think that this process is definitely over for you. If you're in the 6th and 7th position on the 2-bedroom waiting list, it is possible a household ahead of you may not end up reserving a unit for one reason or another, and so a unit may become available. Similarly, if you are in one of the top spots, it's going to be, the leasing office is likely to put a time limit on moving forward with them. And so you need to respond within the time limits that are provided to you. I'm going to do the lottery in a bit here. There is no local preference for this lottery, so it's just going to be one drawing with all 10 households in the box, which I'll show you in a second. I'll draw them out. I'll hold up the numbers to the screen so you can see them. And that will be my lottery results list. Okay. Now, that doesn't necessarily tell you exactly where you're going to be on the waiting list, because there's a little bit of further sorting that needs to happen. Just to give you a quick example, the type 1 household who applied for a 2-bedroom unit is going to be behind all type 2 households for that unit on the waiting list, even if the type 1 household is pulled out of the lottery box first, because that's what the sorting program requirements require that we do. So obviously getting pulled in the lottery earlier rather than later is relevant, but it doesn't give you the entire picture. Now, this evening, after we've done the lottery, I'll sort the results, and those will be on 3 waiting lists. It's going to look like this. This is what I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you an email with some further information, and I'm also going to send everyone this. This is going to be populated with everyone's lottery application numbers. So top to bottom in order that they'll get to move forward on each waiting list. This is the 1-bedroom. This is the 1-bedroom disabled accessible. This is going to be the 2-bedroom waiting list. Okay. If you're in this darker shaded color, which is green when I PDF it and send it via email, that means you're definitely going to be invited to move forward immediately in applying for a lease. If you're these 2 that aren't highlighted, it means you have to see what happens with these households ahead of you to see if all 5 of those units get reserved. So again, this will be anonymous. It'll be your lottery application number, and this is the waiting list order that determines the order that you move forward in the next step. Before I go any further, is there any household who does not know their lottery application number? And please only respond if you do not know your lottery application number. In the meantime, Keshia, what is the expected move-in period? Units are coming online starting this month, I think, through November. So there's a little bit of the units are in several buildings, I think 2 buildings, and they're not all being delivered at exactly the same time. When it's your turn, if and when it's your turn to move forward in selecting a unit, you can select from any of the units that haven't been reserved. And the leasing office will be able to tell you which units are available and when they'll be available. So I can't tell you exactly, because it'll depend where you are on the waiting list and when those units are going to be ready. But you may have some, depending on how high your position is, you may have some control over whether you want to try and get a unit that's available sooner or later. But that depends on a couple of different things that I just can't say for sure right now. But again, they're coming online over a couple months here. Okay, so I will, in the materials I email to you tonight after the lottery, that'll have the waiting list that I just showed you. I'll also send you the contact information for the leasing office. So you can reach out to them in setting up a time to go in and apply for a lease. It may be virtual at this point, given all the restrictions around COVID, but many leasing offices have gotten quite good about virtual leasing and sending photos and diagrams and things of that nature. Oftentimes they need a couple days before they're ready to start working with all the lottery applicants. So please give them just a couple days. We have to send them a lot of information after the lottery. If they don't get back to you by, Thursday or Friday, that's not reason to despair. They may just need a little bit of time to get themselves set up. So that's kind of it. Does anyone have any questions before I do the drawing? Any questions at all? Okay, so here's the lottery box. All 10 lottery application numbers. I've already put them in the box. I've shuffled them. I'm now going to further kind of mix them up so you can see it. Okay, and now I'm going to start pulling them out. I will show them to you, and I will call them out as I go. First number drawn is A.009. Next number, A.007. A.005. A.001. A.010. A.008. A.006. A.003. A.004. And last is A.002. A.002. That's it, folks. That's quick. Just 10 numbers drawn out. This is the order. If anyone didn't catch it, that's the order I drew them out. And again, those are not the final waiting list. I have to shuffle them up, see who applied for what unit size, and apply any preferences. I will send you the waiting list, which will be like this, within a couple of hours with some further information just for your own edification about, how many people were in the lottery and what the waiting list looked like and what to expect in the next steps. But essentially at this point, we SEB are kind of, passing your information to the leasing office. We're giving you their information, and the next step in this process is going to be between you and the leasing office in applying for a unit and hopefully selecting from the available units on your waiting list. But unless you don't move in until sometime later in January 2021, I think you are done with us for now, which I'm sure you're very happy about. So congrats on getting this far. Wish you the best of luck in the next steps. I'll hang on for just a minute here to see if anyone has any questions. But again, that was the lottery drawing, and you will hear from me within a couple hours here with the waiting lists and instructions for moving forward. So I'm just going to wait a sec to see if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, have a great night, and thanks for tuning in. Okay, no questions. So thanks, everyone. Have a great night, and good luck.